I am driving home and I see a TikTok of this bro who literally says, since when did paying for a girl's manicure become our responsibility? To which I'm like, my guy, it is the least thing that you can do, which got me thinking, and maybe I'm just feeling sassy because I just got out of the nail salon myself after 2 hours, but here is a list of things that men do not understand about women's lives.
You know, I think I can speak for the majority of men when I say this. We do not care. So apparently, guys, now it is a problem, according to this woman, because men are no longer paying for women, right? We're no longer out here paying for their manicures or whatever. Apparently, this woman spent 2 hours doing this. This sounds like a you problem. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with a bunch of stupid videos. And to kick off today's episode, we have a clip from this woman right here who is not happy that men are not paying for things for her, I guess. Apparently, we're supposed to be paying for women's manicures. I had no idea about this. You know, and even after she said this, I still think it's stupid. So let's jump in. As always, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I am driving home and I see a TikTok of this bro who literally says, since when did paying for a girl's manicure become our responsibility? To which I'm like, my guy, it is the least thing that you can do.
What do you mean it's the least thing that we can do? Are we ever going to have a discussion, by the way, about what women are expected to do? Or are we just always going to be talking about how men need to pay for things for you? And again, I have not heard in all of these videos, of which there are many, I have not heard a solid reason as to why men should do this.
Which got me thinking, and maybe I'm just feeling sassy because I just got out of the nail salon myself after 2 hours. But
2 hours getting her nails done. I guarantee you, nobody even notices that she got her nails done, okay? Again, how is this dude's problem?
Here is a list of things that men do not understand about women's lives. So number 1, manicure and pedicures are not fun and they are certainly not relaxing. It is 2 hours sitting in a seat that has been warmed by someone else's butt, convinced the entire time that you're being made fun of in a language that you don't even understand, and half the time you don't even like the result. You have to pay so much money knowing you have to go back in 3 weeks. It is not relaxing. Number 2.
Okay, so I'm missing the part where this is men's problem or men's fault. I don't know about you guys, but I am not out here forcing women to go and get their nails done for 2 hours at a time and sit in apparently uncomfortable seats. It is crazy to me, guys, that modern women consider themselves oppressed. And, you know, this is the kind of lives that they live. You know, she's out here getting pedicures, but apparently the seat is uncomfortable, and the people that she's getting her nails done speak a different language, so they think that these people, you know, she thinks they don't like her, which, I mean, they probably don't. But, like, I don't know, since when are we as men forcing women to do this? Nobody gives a flying damn about whether or not you do your nails, madam, I can assure you. But apparently, men have to pay for it. I don't know, these videos are getting stupider by the day, man. This is a list, by the way, and we're on the first item.
But convinced the entire time that you're being made fun of in a language that you don't even understand, and half the time you don't even like the result. You have to pay so much money knowing you have to go back in 3 weeks. It is not relaxing. Number 2.
Just by the way, guys, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be spending money, a significant amount of money, on things that I did not think were worth it. You know, like if half the time you don't like the job, then why are you paying extreme amounts of money to get it done? And not only that, get it done on a frequent basis. And then not only that, require men to pay for it. This woman is clinically insane, guys.
On hair and tanning day, do not make spontaneous plans. It is not going to happen. And even more important, do not touch us before our hair is either dry or done, or before the tan has set. Imagine like a snail coming out of its shell, searching for a new shell. It is a very vulnerable, very weak time for us. We need that time for ourselves. Do not approach, please and thank you.
I mean, number one, I don't think, you know, I personally had no intention to approach you. I don't think a lot of guys are interested in approaching women these days, so I think you're safe here. But, you know, is this a snail analogy? Are you comparing women to snails? You know, this kind of stuff is very dehumanizing, guys, for women. I'm surprised they do it to themselves. You know, how dare you make an analogy comparing women getting tans to that of a snail? You know, I might be out here inclined to call you a bit of a mahoganyist, if I do say so myself. The reason why I say this, by the way, guys, is because anytime a man makes an analogy about a woman, ergo he substitutes the woman with something. They always get pissy about it. Like, they get so frustrated. These people have never heard an analogy in their entire life, and then they say one, and it's like, we're, we're not allowed to say anything about it. But madam, are you comparing women to snails? How dare you?
Time for us. We need that time for ourselves. Do not approach, please and thank you. Speaking of vulnerable times, if you hear us like mice in the night going for chips, or in my case, popcorn, do not A, tell us not to do it, and B, also just don't approach. That's another time that we need to be alone. We need to be able to shovel that food into our mouth. It's not cute, like a little bite on a date. Like, that's a time that we are going on a mission to shovel food into our mouths when we're out there in the middle of the night. Don't approach.
Is this normal, guys? Is this what this woman does? Like, on her free time, she just makes TikTok videos about the lists that men need to understand about women. And again, I want to preface this by saying, again, this woman opened the video by saying that men should essentially be out here paying for these things, And here's a whole list of other things that men need to care about. Again, never during these videos am I ever given any reason as to why men should A, engage in the behavior you're trying to get them to engage in, or B, even care. Like, there is no incentive for men to give a damn. Screw the whole marriage thing, man. Marriage is already said and done. That's done and dusted. But like, even caring in general about these women is like such a task to get men to actually participate, because dudes are just not. Guys, this video is so stupid. I cannot understate this. I
would have said that's it, but there's actually one more that I thought of. Unless we explicitly say, like, I really need your help to solve something, or like, I really need your help to figure something out, do not give us a solution. If we're talking to you, we are not asking for solutions almost ever. And yet you give solutions every single time.
Yeah, so my bad for assuming that grown adult women are not children. Perhaps I should correct my terrible behavior here. See, whenever you say this stuff to a man, by the way, like, it's crazy, because they just look at you like you're essentially a child. So you mean to tell us, this is what this woman is saying, okay? She comes to you with a problem, but at the same time, or problems, right, plural, but we're not allowed to have any input on solving them. Madam, let me just say this. We are not your therapist. We are not your pen pal, okay? Your buddy to chat to. Dudes are problem solvers. If you have a problem, either just solve it. You know what I'm saying? We're not trained therapists out here, okay? Let somebody else scam you, all right? We're not very interested in this, but when dudes hear this, they essentially just think that you're children, because it's super weird, man. Women, on the one hand, they're like, yeah, we're strong and independent. But on the other hand, it's like, yo, we just want to rant about our problems and not ever implement or listen to any solutions. It's like, I'm confused, man. Are we strong and independent, or are we children who can't listen? Like, am I in the wrong here for treating women like adults? I don't know. According to this woman, I am. According to this woman, many men are in the wrong, because how dare we offer solutions to problems? This is quite literally what men do, by the way. We solve problems. If we can't solve it, then hey, move on. If you can solve it, well, talk about it, get the solution out there and get it done. Like, no wonder these women are single all the time, by the way, man, because dudes there just becomes a point where it's too much yapping, and the men are like, wow, this is just not worth it.
Or like, I really need your help to figure something out. Do not give us a solution. If we're talking to you, we are not asking for solutions almost ever. And yet you give solutions every single time. I can't. I don't even know what just happened. I think I'm delirious right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're delirious as well. So this woman opened up the video by saying that men need to pay for her crap. And then we talk about a list of things that are basically incoherent about what men need to understand about women, as if we give a damn. Now, speaking of not giving a damn, let's continue into the next clip here. And this is from a woman who, I should have put a jump scare warning on the screen here. She's complaining about some dude who's like hitting on her in a bar or something. It's unacceptable. I don't know, man. Let's jump in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen. Oh, and by the way, her background's here. It's just, she'll get into it in a second, but it's just her notepad, I think.
Insecure men hate confident women. And what happened to me last night just reaffirms that.
No, men have nothing against confident women. The problem is when you say confident, what you really mean is arrogant. Men don't like arrogant women. That's the amount of gaslighting in these videos is crazy, man. Like women have, you know, they'll say a word and then just pretend like it mean, you know, they like to really mince their words here. You'll see in a second what I'm referring to.
So I was out at Shoreditch House and this guy was like gonna buy me a drink, and then he goes, "What drink do you want?" By the way, this whole conversation was written out because I guess he was so old and deaf that he just couldn't hear. So he goes, "What drink do you want?" And I say, "Paloma." By the way, I'd written it 3 times already before, but like on a different app thing. So I wrote Paloma, and then he goes, "I think you're hot." And then I'm like, "I know, because, you know, I'm confident, I'm sassy, whatever."
This is painful. It's painful, guys. It's very, very painful. Now, I'm no expert, all right? This woman doesn't really look like all that to me, I'll be honest. And this is, by the way, guys, this video, I really want to emphasize this. This woman has so much makeup on her face, okay? And she thinks that she's just so attractive. And so this dude says that she's attractive, and then she says no. She says, "I know." So here's the thing, madam. This is not confidence. This is just you being arrogant. And by the way, look at the phrasing already. "What drink do you want?" And then she just immediately says this. She doesn't go, "Oh, like, I'm okay," or, you know, "I'll take this if you're offering. That would be beautiful. Thank you." There's no manners. There's no, it's just, "Yeah, I'll take this one. I'm attractive." This is not confidence. This is just being arrogant.
And then he goes, "I think you're hot." And then I'm like, "I know, because, you know, I'm confident, I'm sassy, whatever." And then this is where it gets interesting, okay? He says, "What do you do for a living to think that high of yourself?" Excuse me? So
this woman is insufferable, by the way. Insufferable. And see, guys, this is the issue. I mentioned this on pretty much every video. But these women, what they do is they go out here and they get attention from dudes at clubs, bars, dating applications, things like this. But when it comes time to get commitment out of these guys, no dude with any self-respect wants to commit to this. You know, like there are so many issues with this woman that I can't even begin to describe. And then they're always like wondering why these dudes don't want relationships with them. Mind-boggling, men.
So I just continue that confident girl narrative and I say, "It's called knowing my worth, baby."
Yeah, so she doesn't answer what she does for a living.
And he says, "Come on, are you serious?" Or "I'm serious," whatever the fuck he's trying to say. And then I go, "What, you don't like confidence in a woman? Because why wouldn't you? Sounds like insecurities. Ding, ding, ding." And
right, so let me get this straight. If a dude doesn't like you because you're arrogant, because that's what you're being, arrogant. If a dude doesn't like you because you're arrogant, then the dude is insecure. Now, here's the thing. When you try and pull out this shaming language like, "Oh, men are insecure, they're not real man, they're not a real man, you know, he's just a little boy," and things like this, this doesn't help you. It really does. It doesn't help you in any way at all. And women like to employ this stuff, by the way, just whenever dudes either don't give them commitment or men don't act the way that they want them to, right? All of this kind of shaming language comes out. Now, the problem is when you keep throwing this shaming language out just because, you know, you feel like it, the words lose all of their meaning, and so men just stop giving a damn. A woman calling you insecure these days is pretty much a badge of honor, I would argue. If women call you insecure, it almost just directly translates to, "Oh, he has self-respect," right? You know, you don't want your, let's just say you've got a wife or something, and you don't want her hitting the club without you, or hitting the club in general. Women will come out here and be like, "Oh, you're insecure." To me, that's probably a good, if women are saying that, that's probably a good sign, if anything. Because if being secure means that, you know, your wife is out there hitting the club, what dude would want to be secure? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a special type of man. I probably can't say the word without getting, you know, YouTube pissed off at me about it. But there are some men who are into that, but the self-respecting ones, generally not really into having their wife get a whole bunch of attention and potentially hooking up with random men. But yeah, you know, insecure is what these men are, apparently. Let's get going with this woman's stupid story.
Because why wouldn't you? Sounds like insecurities. Ding, ding, ding. And then he says, I love confidence, but there's a level. It sounds like I'm punting above my weight. By the way, I forgot to mention, when I said it's called knowing my worth, baby, he like was holding my phone reading this, and then he just like tossed it to the side on the counter, like as if, oh, this girl is not serious. Who the
Yeah, because you didn't answer the question. The dude was like, you know, you displayed arrogance. The guy was like, okay, you know, what do you do? Like, where does all this arrogance come from? And you, continuing your arrogance, couldn't even answer that. So yeah, he's just done with it. He tosses the phone to the side. He's out of there. You know, and this woman, guys, is so off-putting. Like, it's crazy how off-putting these women are, and then they think that they're in the right, and they think that they're confident. Again, this isn't confident. Men really do not give a damn if you're confident or if you're shy. In fact, a lot of guys would probably prefer a shy woman, to be honest with you, because if a woman's confident, what it translates to usually is just that she's, you know, she's extroverted. She talks to a whole bunch of people. She's probably hooked up with a bunch of guys, things like this. But generally, men don't really care about your confidence or lack thereof. You know, we're not out here looking for a career woman. But this is just being arrogant, and dudes certainly don't like arrogance, especially dudes with any level of self-respect. And she said this was an older guy, by the way. Yeah, this guy is probably just not having it. The older men get, the less tolerance they have for this nonsense, by the way.
fuck does she think she is? Wow, 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 wow. And this guy was like relatively on the older side. Like he was probably 35, 38. So the fact that this elder man,
I mean, can I call women elders when they're 35? You know, again, all very well and good. This is an older guy. You know, he's old. He's past it. This guy's 35, 38, you know. But if I come out here and I say a woman's past it when she's 35, people lose it. They lose their mind. How could Taylor say that, you know? How dare he? You know, the women are like, I'm not old, I'm just... And it's like... The double standards here are crazy. If this woman was 35 or 38, which I mean she very well could be, who the hell knows what she actually looks like with the amount of stuff that's on her face, and people were to call her old or elderly, oh, she would not be happy, man. She would not be happy.
Is thinking this way. It's just very, very problematic and quite worrying, actually, because how can you hate a confident woman that much that you actually have the audacity to say this? Like this line, what do you do for a living to think that high of yourself? That is actually, it boggles my mind that someone can say that, but it's actually like laughable.
That's crazy. This woman is off her meds. Guys, which one of you took this woman's meds and hid it from this poor woman? So I have nothing to say about this. You know what? We might as well just continue on to the next clip, guys. That woman is actually sickening. Actually sickening. Whoever the hell has a committed relationship with that thing is going to be in for a hell of a ride. Emphasis on the hell part of that. Let's continue into the next clip here. This is an older woman who's going to be talking about a situation with one of her girlfriends. Okay, so let's, excuse me, no. One of her male friends. Now, I don't know why women have male friends in their, like, 50s. I don't know why women have male friends in general. I think we all know what that translates to these days, but apparently she's got a male friend, and this dude broke up with his girlfriend. So let's hear about it.
One of my sexiest male friends just broke up with his girlfriend.
Very weird thing to say, by the way.
And I need to tell you why. Ladies, listen to this guy. Because I agree with him. I agree with him, and you need to tell me if you agree as well. Well, they had been dating for a while, about a year. And she's lovely. Well, I mean, until you hear what happened. She seems lovely. She's beautiful, well-dressed, has a great career. It got worse.
Beautiful, well-dressed, and has a great career. Nothing about the personality, by the way, or the type of woman that she is. Well dressed could honestly just mean anything. It could mean promiscuous, it could be modest, or anywhere in between. But notice how there's nothing about her personality.
As they were dating, they would go out to dinner or go out to lunch or what, just go, you know, wherever, like restaurants, things like that, cafes. And she was really rude to the servers. She was rude to any kind of server or help. She was just rude. And he started to, you know, he would talk to me about it and he would say, doesn't it kind of show character? Doesn't it, you know, because I said, well, wasn't she like this when you first met her?
I don't know why. Like this is the crazy part about these situations, man, is these people, like, they have friends of the opposite gender and they just go out, quote unquote friends, by the way, and they go out and they just share relationship details with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like having, you know, a girl having a husband, and then she goes to her single friends and she starts talking about something she doesn't like. I mean, of course, the relationship is going to be over, right? You should attempt to solve the things in the relationships rather than talking about people of the opposite gender who are your quote-unquote friends. Very, very bad idea, in my opinion. Though I will say this, people who are rude to servers, not a good sign, man. Not a good sign. The only people that I've ever seen in my life be rude to the servers are people who have been very bad in other aspects of their life as well. Like, these are people that you don't want to know. So I do consider this to be a huge problem. I don't know why the hell he's talking to this woman about it, though, to be honest, guys. Like, you know, again, I think it's way smarter to just solve these things yourself rather than try and go to people of the opposite gender who you're quote-unquote friends with, you know?
And he said it's gotten worse. And he said that when he first noticed it, that he thought she was just having a bad day, and I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, he finally just couldn't take it anymore because he said it meant that, you know, she might be a mean person. I think it's a really good indication of someone's character. Like, you can't even be having a bad day and be rude to anyone, especially people you don't know.
You know what? I do agree with this, man. I think the people who are rude to customer service and staff and things like this, these are people who are not good people, to be honest. Like, even people who have bad days, if you're sensible, you're still not going to, you know, cuss out some sort of service member or be rude to them or whatever. If you have a bad day and you're interacting with people who are working, you keep it to yourself, to be honest with you. You know, you don't snap at people, you don't be rude, and things like this. So I do agree with what this woman is saying. Again, I don't know why the hell she's giving relationship advice to this guy or commenting on this woman's character, because it sounds to me like she could very well just be trying to steal this dude. She literally, at the start of this, called her male friend the sexiest male friend. What a weird thing to say. I mean, she's probably out here just trying to steal this dude, to be honest with you. And this is why, guys, you know, these women, oftentimes you go to single women for relationship advice, and it's like, well, the relationship probably won't last if you listen to what they have to say. Even if what they're saying is right, again, just solve it yourself, man. Don't involve single women and start talking to them about your relationship problems. What's the saying? You know, single women keep women single, or something like that. They probably keep all people single, to be honest with you. So
I think that is indicative of whether somebody has a good character or not. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think, but I actually agree with him. But it's important to point out that here's a gorgeous guy.
Again, very weird thing to say. This is why, guys, you don't believe these people. I don't care if she's 50. I don't care if she's 22. Okay, and they start going on about guy friends. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. People who have a bunch of friends of like the opposite gender, or even just one, I think it's super damn weird, man. Unless you've like known these people since school, you know, and they're like married or something, there's just no reason to have friends of the opposite gender. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, I have guy friends, right? And like if they have a very long-term relationship or something, I don't, you know, I'm not out here trying to talk to their girlfriends or befriend their girlfriends. It's weird. You know, I'm not out here sending friend requests or sending them DMs. Weird behavior, man. I don't need friends who are girls And vice versa. Girls don't need friends who are guys. Makes no damn sense to me, man. Especially when you start to involve in language like this. Like, this woman is just sitting here talking about how this dude is gorgeous. Very weird things to be saying, madam.
Important to point out that here's a gorgeous guy, really awesome guy, and she's beautiful. She really is, and she has sort of everything else going for her, but he couldn't take the fact that she was rude. So kindness over beauty, I think, is the point. Love you all.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this woman's a little bit crazy. I think her opinion is correct, but do I trust her as a person? Certainly not. And also, by the way, guys, have you ever noticed how women just throw around the word love like it means absolutely nothing? Yeah, guys, love you all, you know, and they just put it in their videos. Like, they don't even know who the hell is watching their videos, and they're saying that they love you. Makes the words just mean absolutely nothing. Let's continue on to the last clip for today and see what this is about. Point of view, your boyfriend is being ungrateful or something? Just a bit ungrateful that I made you dinner. Let's see what this woman made for dinner. This will be interesting.
I'm grateful that I make you dinner, you can't even say thank you.
You're not causing fuss over that again. We've just been over this. Okay, yeah. If we say please and thank you every time we do something for each other, it won't mean anything.
What? That's so rude.
No, it's
if
not.
someone makes you dinner and takes the time. What?
Yes, I would have said thank you afterwards, but you don't give me a chance.
What, you think just because we've been together for years, you don't say it anymore? You're just rude. It's like you actually go out of your way to be rude to me.
No, do you know?
Holy hell. This woman, so let me get this straight. This woman cooked this guy some food, right? And because he didn't say thank you immediately, what does she decide to do? She decides to bust out her phone and start recording him and calling him ungrateful. I wouldn't say thank you either if this woman was this crazy. You know, like, give him a chance to eat the food, he'll probably say thank you. And he also says his reasoning, you know, he's like, listen, we do nice things for each other all the time. If we say thank you all the time, then kind of loses its meaning. Me personally, I would just say thank you anyway, but I see where he's coming from. You know, he probably does stuff for this woman all the time. He doesn't expect a thank you every damn time. He probably doesn't whip out his phone camera and start recording her ass about it. So these women are such awful people, man. You know, they bust out their cameras and just try and shame their boyfriends into saying things. It's ridiculous. Let the guy eat and he'd probably say thank you, you know?
I think just because we've been together for years, you don't say it anymore. You're just rude. It's like you actually go out of your way to be rude to me.
No, do you know what's rude? Is that you make me something and I feel like you do it just so you've got a reason to cause a fuss. So, oh, I made you dinner, like, to hold it against me.
That's
I'll
what
just get myself something, don't worry.
God, it's pathetic.
Clearly,
Holy hell. So this dude is like, yeah, she's making it so that she can cause a fuss. I totally agree with this guy. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of having your phone camera out? And this guy does the reasonable thing, man. He puts the food back. He's like, you're just doing this just to cause fuss. I'm going to put it back and I'm going to sort myself something. I think it's a great move. I think, again, he should just ditch this woman. This woman clearly doesn't respect him. She doesn't like him whatsoever. Just, guys, throw the woman out and she can go and pay her own rent. Fantastic. Good choice.
To hold it against me.
That's
I'll
what
just get myself something, don't worry.
God, it's pathetic.
Clearly, the whole not being thanked for her cooking thing has been bothering her for a while. So this time around, she set up the camera in anticipation of catching him once again failing to thank her, which he fell for. However, this leads him to rightfully believe that he's just walked into a trap, because he has, and people who feel like they've been cornered or trapped are not likely to respond with grace.
What do you mean feel like? This woman is deliberately causing these issues. Oh yeah, the dude might feel like he's trapped. Like, no, she's being a psycho. If she wants the dude to say thank you and she just appreciates some more gratitude, then mention it. You don't whip out your phone and start recording the guy and make him just... She literally, I guarantee you it, guys, she made that food just so she could make that comment and be a pain in this guy's ass. This is not, oh, possibly feeling cornered. No, this is her being malicious. It's her being a piece of crap. Throw the woman out.
And he calls her out for this, saying that she's only made the dinner to hold over his head, which it seems as though she has, and also says that he was going to thank her after dinner, which he possibly was going to. Personally, if someone treats me to dinner, I do wait until the end to say thank you. Now, she may have a valid point that somewhere along the way, he lost his good habits of saying thank you. And I also disagree with his point that saying please and thank you too often causes them to lose their meaning.
Yeah, I think that's weird as well, but it does make sense, man. Like, I would assume a lot of people think like this, to be honest with you. You know, and again, if he's doing crap for her all the time, he probably doesn't expect to thank you all of the time either. At least it sounds like, you know?
But this is how she made it impossible for him to win. She made that dinner with the express plan of him not being grateful enough for it. Even when he says he was going to say thank you after, she shifts the goalpost by saying that the only correct way to say thank you is at the beginning of the meal. So then he avoids the need to thank her for food altogether by saying he'll just get his food elsewhere. So now she's mad at him for wasting the food.
Yeah, see, that just sounds like a her problem. You know, oh, you're mad at him for wasting the food. I mean, to be fair, she didn't even make it for him. She made it so that she could cause issues. You know, she got her use out of the food as far as I'm concerned, right? She wanted to cause problems with it, and she did. She didn't make it for him to eat it. She made it so that she could be a pain in his ass.
Anyone can understand the frustration of feeling taken for granted in your relationship, but you're never going to get anywhere with a man by calling him pathetic over and over again, and you're never going to improve your relationship by shaming your partner online.
And just by the way, by the way this dude is speaking and he's mentioning like doing things for each other, I guarantee you that he probably provides significantly more. And like he's probably paying the rent, I would assume, based on what he said here. Right? So like, again, oftentimes, guys, it's like the men, they're not just sitting there and the women are making them food for nothing. Oftentimes the men are contributing in a very significant way. And if she doesn't feel like this is going her way, then fine, just dip out then. You know, this dude's life would probably be easier for it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what dudes will put up with, man. Absolutely insane. But we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.